Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news with a recap of the week's goings on with roadmap updates, calling all devs and official CIG shows and posts and highlights of the monthly report. So some roadmap and 3.3 updates, object container streaming and network bind culling have been put back into Alpha 3.3, and instead of a live build on the 10th of October, where they're planning to put that 3.3 with object container streaming build to a PTU for everyone that has a game package. A live build will follow shortly after. 3.3.5 will still contain Hurston, its 4 moons, a mission giver, and a new clothing line, but may potentially come out a lot quicker than previously thought. Obviously, with that as well, any new shops, any new bits that are part of Lorville or Hurston, they will be coming with 3.3.5 as well. I am very glad that they were able to get object container streaming back into 3.3. It does mean that they don't have to put resources into making a non-object container streaming build, and people can experience good frame rates like you were playing a real game. This week's RSI newsletter, Power to the People, had a sneak peek of a claw crane thing that was looks like it's going to feature around Lorville on Hurston somewhere. Calling all devs highlights. So we will be able to share our coordinates in the future. They haven't decided exactly how they want that to happen yet, though. The first salvage mechanics we have in game will be us just converting salvage into raw materials. It's going to allow for more features as it evolves, though, potentially allowing for extraction of fuel out of your fuel tank, for example, before you salvage the rest. And yeah, salvage and mining and all that sort of jazz will get more and more advanced and evolve a lot more to have a lot more components to them. The Banu Merchantman, so there is some form of interplay between the Banu Merchantman and the Defender that they haven't talked about properly yet, and the Merchantman isn't going to be super quick. The ship is huge, so bear that in mind. It does have guns, it has armor, it's big. Bounty hunting will be a thing, but they haven't worked out exactly how players will be disabled and captured, how players will be treated when stunned or imprisoned or unconscious. They do want to avoid players not being able to play for hours because they're locked up or unconscious. But slavery is a thing in the game's lore, but selling players off probably won't be a thing. So they want to balance all that sort of stuff. So bounty hunting and that sort of stuff is fun, but they don't want it to break or destroy other people's gameplay experiences. Around the verse was just updates and polish mostly to 3.3, and reverse the verse as well didn't really give us any useful information. It was sort of like a test stream. But with Around the Verse, one of the mission givers, Recco Battaglia in 3.3, has a prosthetic leg, which they showed off. It's been rigged at the moment. They've been moving it around and seeing how her gait changes based on the movement of the leg. It looks pretty cool and begs the question, will NPCs we hire or we get in the verse, will they be able to get injuries, meaning that they need prosthetics, and will players be able to get them too in this form? Because it will change your animation and the way you move, so it's an interesting one. Next week's Around the Verse is going to be cancelled due to CitizenCon. I would expect a reasonable amount of disruption on their channel. Some CitizenCon info, there were some tweets from Faceware teasing about their face-over IP stuff and their camera that assumedly is going to be shown off at CitizenCon. There were tweets suggesting that FOIP might actually be in a pretty good looking state, even at this stage in Star Citizen's development. The monthly report highlights. So the monthly report came out, so I made a video covering it in a lot of detail, but I'll cover some highlights here. They are tuning the economy with new mineable resources and updated inventories at new outposts and truck stop locations. They're trying to set their gold standard at the moment for NPCs, animation and facial performance. So in the short term, they're going to have bartenders and patrons in the persistent universe with schedules, and they're currently polishing their everyday behaviors, including like glass cleaning and carrying drinks to tables and telling players they're busy when they're in the middle of actions, and players are going to be able to interact and drink at the bars too. A couple of new missions at Security Post Korea have been created. Crusader Security wants you to sort of like clear out outlaws, and criminals will want the leaders of competing factions assassinated. Korea itself has had some big improvements and changes to its layout. They performed the final polish on the surface of Hurston and its biomes. This will be the first time players are able to explore lush vegetation-covered biomes. Improvements and bug fixes were made to water volumes so that they can be used in ships and on planets, as they need them. They are also adding trains and trams, setting up schedules for them, configuring hangars and garages, and making sure the gates of Lawville are working as intended. They've started looking ahead to upcoming areas of Stanton, so ArcCorp, Microtech, and Crusader. So some big stuff coming in the future. They've improved manned turrets, so you can turn on and off gyro stabilization. The input to rotation is now 1-to-1, and there's head look smoothing, so hopefully we should have some much better turret experiences. And that's sort of it for this week. CitizenCon should be a mega hype fest. I'll have erratic coverage next week as I'm on holiday, but I'll also be covering CitizenCon, obviously. I've got a laptop and everything with me. I've got all my mobile stuff. I'm at like a LAN party thing. I'll get a channel update up on Monday, so I'll explain a bit more of that and where the channel's going and potentially what I'm planning to do for CitizenCon again. But I'll get as much 3.3 and CitizenCon video goodness up as I can while I'm away. It will just be probably a little bit less audio quality or a little bit different sounding because I'm going to be on my smaller, more mobile microphone, and I'll have less powerful equipment to do editing and mess around on. But thanks very much, guys. You take care. I hope you're looking forward to CitizenCon, and thanks for your continued support on the channel. Until the 10th of October, you can win a Saber Raven just by being a subscriber on my channel and commenting on any of my videos. This is one of 2 giveaways that will be happening on my channel this month, provided by My Radar, a mobile app for iOS and Android that provides up-to-the-minute weather information in the US, Europe, and Japan, with service in Australia coming in by the end of 2018. It allows Star Citizen players to view detailed maps of the moons in-game as well, Yela, Selin, and Daymar. A new version will be released this month that includes new features, including outpost markers and updated maps. Today's video is brought to you by F-Secure Total, premium cybersecurity for you and your devices. It includes Safe, an award-winning internet security suite, protecting you from ransomware, viruses, and while browsing the web. Freedom VPN, giving you net privacy, a way to access otherwise inaccessible content, while being secure and anonymous even on public Wi-Fi. Key, a password manager, allowing you to store your passwords securely and access them from any device. Total protects you and your device. You can try F-Secure Total, Internet Security and Privacy Suite free for 30 days. You can also use the code BoredGamer to get 20% off a subscription. Check out the links below for more information.